Sometimes I wonder what the old me say. If what? If we could see the wish it is too late. They'd probably say everything is okay. What's my name? What's my name? I think a little kid still wanna act like me. I'm a bigger freak than cacti me. That's why these words seem just like you working. Attacked by bees and opening back my seat. Open on Kelly's face. The black guy got yeast. In my Air Max 90s. White tees walking around that 5G. My friends in the kitchen.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and stop us right there. Hopefully that wasn't too distorted. I did see you over there, Cortez, say that audio is distorting on OBS. Intro, if you're watching and you have any thoughts or recommendations, or if you're hearing the same thing, shoot me a message in the Discord and I will look into fixing that for you guys so it doesn't sound like shit. Alright guys, what'd you think?
EP, you're first.
There's a lot in there that I liked. I think for me, there was kind of two things that were taking me out of it, though. It could have been where I'm sitting. You know, sometimes when you're sitting in a certain spot in a room, it just like sounds kind of funky. Not that this sounded funky, but to me, the kick was very. I think it was a little too loud, in my opinion. I think
actually, to kind of second that, I felt like right here in this section, and I'll turn it down a little bit just so they can hear us. Yeah, right here, like it just kind of felt a little dry. Yeah, I mean, I thought like he didn't do a great job of that moment, but I don't think he did Yeah, sorry, I think we were still talking.
Sometimes I wonder what the old me say. If what? If we could see the wish it is too late. They'd probably say everything is okay. What's my name? What's my name?
maybe a different sample is the move, or maybe just EQing it a little bit, or like making it shorter or some shit is the move. But I feel like to me it was because it's very pitched. You really hear the tone of it. You know what I mean? Like the note that it's hitting, and so that was kind of drilling into me. So maybe it just need to be a little quieter, maybe a different sample. I don't know. But the other thing was I like what's happening with the vocal. I just feel like the processing on it, and it could, to me, truthfully, it kind of sounded like it was. They have those like stem things now, like AI can take the stems out of something and like extract a track. You know what I mean? Like
it sounds extracted for sure. Like it's phasing.
Yeah, it's definitely got like some kind of interesting quality in there that I don't love because it's kind of distracting and it kind of makes it a little hard to hear what they're saying. That being said, you know, there's only so much we can do with certain songs and samples.
Hold on 1 second, guys. They say that we need to check our volume. Can you guys hear us any better now? Oh, check your David's telling them to check their volume. Okay, DJ Womp, yeah, double check your settings, bud. Is it anybody else that's having audio issues with us? Please let me know here in the chat. Okay, yeah, everybody sounds like they're doing okay. So on that note about the vocals, I think I've had this discussion with a couple of you guys in the Discord before, and again, I try to do it nicely, but you know me, sometimes I'm a dick, and I apologize about that. But
Jordan sometimes is a dick. It's all right,
sometimes, yeah, Damon knows. Honestly, I think sometimes these vocals, when you guys do the extractors, if that's how you're getting them, it's ruining the track for me to some degree. Like I always say, like I hear such a good track underneath some of these vocals.
This is what I was gonna say. This leads me to my notes now. This is a fucking sick track.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's being ruined by too many vocals. Find a spot in the vocals where you really like a phrase or two, and use that to flip a whole track. Don't touch anything else that you've written. Just delete the vocals, pick a few phrases that you really like, and use that across the whole flip. Because the song, the sound design, the arrangement, everything else is really cool. You're just, in my opinion, using too much vocal that's taken away from a sick track that you wrote. Yeah. Find a way to sample it, not rewrite it.
That's a really good call, especially if you're gonna like poise it as a house flip. Because to me, I'm like, oh, if the vocals. Because there's something about, I'm not sure if it was the, extracted thing or if it was just it had an interesting processing.
It feels like an old school mashup to me.
Yeah, and it was like hard to hear, and I'm like, I wish if I heard it, I probably would have been way more engaged, but then there were times where I wasn't sure like what to focus on because the vocal is kind of masked and there was another synth, and so I kind of like that idea of simplifying like your color palette in a way with those two phrases and chop them up and spit them around and
Totally.
stretch them, do your whatever you gotta do.
Use them on the turnarounds. Use them at the beginning of a
yeah.
phrase.
Yeah,
like
not a bad
simplify
idea.
where you're using it as more of a
that.
fill rather than an element throughout the whole track.
Yeah, and I think that I've had that conversation with intro specifically where I've said, like, you know, don't try to use too much of the vocal in there. Like, I know, like, you're trying to remix the track, but, like, you don't have to use the whole track when you're remixing it. You know, find a really phrase that you resonate with for your song in particular. Like, you know, I think me and Damon have one we're working on with, like, a Biggie track where we just use him saying, like, and that's why I bust back.
That's
you
it.
know, and that's it. That's all we use,
Why
you know.
Bust back.
Right,
And we just
you know,
reuse those three words. You know what I
and
mean?
we do that through the entire track, you know. We have a collab that some of you have maybe heard with Kevin, Ambition, that we do a similar thing with Kendrick vocals. You know, we use just a very, very few phrases from his Swimming Pools track, and it really works for
I
our
got a
tune,
great
you
example.
know?
Is Drezo is the best at it.
Sure.
Like I know
Yeah, Drezo
everybody
does a
here
great
knows
job of that.
Drezo. Guapped Up, any of those songs that he's got there, he's using such a small section of it.
I'm sorry, David Goda said that intro guy really sucks at remixing, so I'm sorry.
That's messed up, dude.
Come on, man, that's our guy right there.
That's
man.
my dog,
Come on,
dude. Don't
that's
talk about my
intro.
dog
yeah,
like that.
You can't be hating on our guy like that, man.
It's so funny.
But sorry, that made me laugh there. But no, Damon brings up great points there. And like I said, I really think that like you have some good elements here, and if you release this track as an original without vocals, you'd probably get people dropping this in the club, because I think it's a nice mix between like that harder G house and that still like acceptable heaviness for the opening set. You know, I think it's got a good vibe for that kind of thing. You know. So.
Well, like Drezo, I'm going back to the song, but Drezo has a song where he uses, I'm pretty sure it's Biggie. I can't remember now. He said it's the phrase, 4:15 left the club tipsy. I mean, he released that as an original, and everybody knows that line.
Sure.
Just pitched way down, and you use just that one phrase, and now he's got an original track. Don't call this a flip. Pick a phrase that you like. You got a sick original track here.
Really mess with
Pitch
that
it the fuck
vocal,
down.
yeah.
Throw it in there in a couple of spots, and boom, you got a banger. And everybody's gonna know that vocal. You know what I mean? But that phrase necessarily, you know, and rather than the whole vocal across the whole track.
I like
because
that. I like that. I like
now
that a
you're
lot.
dealing with copyrights.
Now you're dealing with copyrights,
Artwork,
yeah.
I think the artwork's pretty tight.
So listen to from Palisades here. Yeah, well, you know, we didn't have too many submissions, so we allowed everybody to do a couple tracks. That way we could give so we're good on time. All right.
We're not that cool, I guess, huh?
You know, it's still new, like you said. It's our first one, so I think we'll get a few more here, man. But yeah, no, I'm not too worried about it. We got time. I'm gonna bring it to the break. Bring it to the next break.
Step 2, sit in the seat. Step 3, close the car door. Step 11, bitch.
This is a banger. It's fire.
The last bitch. Open the car door. Step 2, sit in the seat. Step 3, close the car door. Step 4, grab the seat.
All right, so that was sick.
Yeah, it was super dope.
That was
Super
dope.
dope.
So yeah, this started with lots of elements that he's cut out of it too, because I don't think he's in the chat here, so I'm just gonna give you a little background on it. Started with lots of elements that he's cut out significantly down to what we're hearing here, and I think it's made a big difference for him. I mean, for you guys, I mean, Damon, he's a big advocate of less is more.
Dude, it's simplified. I think I was gonna say I can tell it's been simplified, and it's very well done. And I love the turnarounds. There's good elements in the fills, but I think that could even be a little bit less micro fills and little like tiny clicks and bangs. Like you have such a good baseline, and your turnarounds are placed in the right spots to where you go to new sections, and it feels like that's what should be happening. But in between, in the sections where I really want to hear a lot of that bass line because it's really good, there's almost too many little clicks and swooshes and things that honestly take more of it out. Like the turnarounds where they're placed, moving you from section to section are great, and the very minimal vocals that you used in it in those fill spots are also very well placed. This is a great example of less is more on a track. And that's really it.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think I think if I had another thing too, just from like a arrangement standpoint, like give this mix to the DJs, you know, so they have all of this to mix in on.
Definitely.
But like when you send this thing to the music stores, whether like you release with another label or us or whoever, right? Like start the track like right where my pointer's at, man. Like, you know, like cut that whole mix part out. Like the average listener is got like 1 to 3 seconds before they turn your track off, you know. So it's got to like start really interesting, and you have such a cool tune here, it would suck to like lose them on the mix in, like
a simple 8-bar drop in right into a breakdown and build up into your drop.
And give this version to the DJs. That way it's easy for them to mix into their sets. They could, you know, have you playing on a loop for a while before they actually bring you in or whatever, right? Like that's I think I've had that conversation with a couple of you. Look who decided to fucking join us, Palisades, like always, late as fuck, dude. God,
right?
Jesus Christ, man.
Right on not time.
Right on not time. Like if anybody knows Palisades, he's fucking notorious for being right on not time. So Palisades, yeah, man, we just went through both your tracks, buddy. We gave you a nice little thumbs up here. You'll have to watch the playback to hear what we said about the Houdini track, but Buckle Up definitely is fucking coming along.
Ride this wave, bro. Start doing more of this, because this is the shit that's gonna get you played. This is what's gonna get people's attention.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely. And I want you to, instead of putting bass house / G house whip, we're making this fucking happen, dude. G bass. You're making G bass, dude. That's what this is. All right, we're gonna make that term a fucking thing.
And you need to hashtag your music, hashtag Mad Scientist Music.
Mad Scientist Music, absolutely, dude.
Everybody's gotta buckle up and get ready.
Everybody's gotta fucking buckle up and get ready, dude. All right, so I'm gonna open up. His name is Ambition, but I can't stop calling him Kevin just because he's fucking, I don't know, man. He's fucking Kevin. That's who he is. He's fucking Kevin, dude. So, fucking Kevin over here.
Kevin and his ambitions.
Dude, his sound design is crazy, man. This guy's got some really solid technique when it comes to making sounds, I should say, here. I mean, tunes as well, but just specifically in his sound design. He's actually even got a YouTube channel that he has started up, showing how to make all these different sounds. So I want you guys to hit him up so you can find that YouTube channel. I'll try to link it here in the chat here when I get a
Me and
second
Kevin
as well.
Also have a Damon and Ambition.
Yeah, well, we
Come
actually
to-
are doing all kinds of stuff with Kevin. We have a CmdEsc collab with Kevin that's not out yet. Damon on his solo brand has got a trappy, dubsteppy type tune that he's working on with Kevin, Mr. Ambition
Actually, I
here.
think
So
it might be mid-tempo. Fuck, it's been so long.
could be
since
some
I've
mid
read
tempo.
that.
So again, we got some things coming with Mr.
forget what I
Ambition
said
here,
to
and
him.
we're really excited to fucking hear this shit, man. Let's see what you got, dude.
Come and say kill all sound. My sound are the people's sound. My sound are the heavyweight sound. My sound the touch on the bass sound. My sound make the crowd gather round. My sound make a afraid of no sound. Come and say kill all sound. My sound make them run out of town. Kill every sound. My sound the top of your one. My sound make the crowd gather round. My sound are the people's sound. My sound are the heavyweight sound. My sound the touch on the real sound. My sound make the crowd gather round. My sound make a afraid of no sound. Come and say kill all sound. My sound make them run out of town. Kill every sound. My sound are the people's sound. My sound are the heavyweight sound. My sound the touch on the real sound. My sound make the crowd gather round. My sound make the crowd gather.
Well, fuck, man, that
Very
shit
cool
was
stuff.
definitely sick, man. I really don't have too many notes about that one. That one,
Bounce it.
yeah.
Very sick.
Honestly, dude, like, yeah, and if you're interested, talk to me in the Discord about maybe releasing that if you want to hold on to it for a little bit. I really think this would be a fucking dope one for HotKey. So give me a call, but yeah, man, I like this shit a lot, dude.
The only
Fucking
thing
sick.
really, this song's done. What you need to do now is you just need to sit down, get it on a good studio system where you can see what it's metering at and make sure it's just hitting properly and bouncing out without any phasing or all the right luffs and everything you want, so that when it does hit Spotify, it's doing what it needs to do. Because honestly, quit fucking with it, bounce it, get it mastered, release
Yeah,
it.
I feel like all the thoughts I have are maybe cool, but they're nitpicky.
Yeah,
like,
little things.
little
for
things,
sure.
little tiny things.
I really love the lead. Like he was saying, there was a
Yeah.
melody lead that came in during
the
that
back
break.
half, yeah.
That was fire. I wanted to hear more of that, but then again, would I like it as much if I heard more of it?
Yeah,
Like,
right. I
want-
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me want to roll back the whole song just to hear that section again. So that's
Yeah.
like the
I think for me, the only thing it was like almost 3/4 of the way through. There was a little bit of a breakdown, and it stayed on like a 4 on the floor kind of thing
Okay.
with the slower tempo. But I thought it would have been cooler to break that up and do like kind of big hit, drum fill hit.
Of course you
kinda,
would.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know,
yeah,
it's the
yeah.
drummer in me, but I'm like
okay though.
a little
That's
bit of
something
that
to
might
hear.
be
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
drummer in
You're
you
right.
definitely. That's epic. That would
Yeah.
be sick. The
It-
drummer
it-
in you would be like,
it
all right,
would-
I'm just gonna play it in.
But you're exactly right. Like it would be epic, but is that the right call? And
Right, and again,
maybe, but
nitpicky,
maybe-
nitpicky, and it's
Yeah.
stuff that that's what we're hearing, right?
And Eric
Um,
is sick as hell on the drums, so it's easy for him to hear these big epic fills and things where he
Absolutely.
wants
Yeah.
to play some. But it's like, dude, okay, well, come play on my track, bro.
Yeah. Hey,
Give me a call.
give
Anytime.
Eric a call, man. We've dropped his
Anytime.
links, guys. We're gonna try to get him in the Discord here, and yeah, if anybody wants some real fucking drums on their track, this is the guy to ring up. All right.
Doing it
So,
for 4 years, I got you.
Kevin, one thing I want to also say to you is, from the first few tracks that you sent to us in the Discord a while back, like, I would say like your sound design has always been on point. But
Sound
one,
design.
and right.
I love it. I'm gonna call it that
but one aspect that maybe you struggled a little bit was with like your build-ups, and I'd say like in this track, dude, you fucking nailed them. Yeah, man. Like
Yeah,
you
everything's there.
really fucking killed it for the build-ups in this tune, man. So awesome job. Really like this one. Like I said, I want to talk more about it. Maybe we can figure out where those vocal samples came from and get them cleared and get it released. So give me a call, man. We'll figure it out. But a sick fucking track, man. All right, so let's see who's
Killing
next
it,
here.
bro.
I actually think I skipped somebody on accident. I skipped a couple guys because I wanted to hear Bass Force first and it didn't work. All right, so let's move up here to Energy, man. Let me fucking open
Love
this
that,
up.
love that name.
Is it like you're harnessing your inner G?
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, no,
Or
no,
is it
he's-
like a play on energy?
No. It's harnessing his energy. I've seen his Discord picture,
I
and
fucks with
it's a hooded man, so that's what he's doing.
I fucks
There
with
it is, right there, actually, dude. There
Great.
it is.
Now we can
There,
fox
there,
with each
there
other.
is our man right there, man, dude. So he says, my first real attempt at my sort of dubstep style, I tried to get the mix down a bit cleaner and bring out certain aspects better. Let me know what you think and what may need more or less done to it. Sounds good, buddy. We'll take a listen, man. I think it's all part of
Ain't
the journey,
nothing but
right?
a G thing.
Yeah, man, it's all part of the journey here. Let's see what we got going on, dude. All right. So I see what you're going for in there.
The
for sure.
energy. That's
The
what he's
energy.
going for.
He's going for that energy. I mean, I like the I like the mellowness to it. I think for me, I think I struggle with moving through the bits of the song though. Like I feel like when you broke down out of your first drop, I didn't really feel like we were building up to your second drop. You know, and I think that like it just kind of felt like you gave us a break from the sounds, but you didn't like really take us through into your next thing. Like I feel like this is still kind of an idea rather than like a fully fledged song. You know, I would say keep going in that respect. You know.
I got a couple of help pointers to make this progress better. And my thing would be is find a song that you love that fits this realm in arrangement. Drop the audio into there and literally just rebuild that song with your sounds.
Yeah.
That's a great way to do it. And then another thing to help those drops feel like they smack a little bit more is they feel like they're kind of maybe getting buried under the sounds. Put a fat side chain on everything going to kick and snare, and that'll make it kind of feel like those are popping through a little bit more and making that like that breathe and that drop feel that you get from dubstep or trap or whatever, where everything's getting out of the way for the kick and snare. And then other than that, like I mean, just like I said, just reference another song and rebuild the song with your sounds. And that'll give you an idea of how to build tension, how to move from section to section, how to write new sections based on those first ideas and all that, because you'll be breaking it down in a way where you can visualize it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like for me on this one, I'm glad you mentioned this. I changed stuff because for me, I feel like the ideas are all kind of there. It's just that the way they're sitting what doesn't quite like hit like the genre typically does. And I really think that the way that you said it well, if it didn't feel like we were moving through sections, it just kind of felt like stuff was coming in and out.
Right.
And so I think that following an arrangement of something else will help get you there.
Sure.
And I think that, again, it could be because I'm a drummer, but to me sometimes the kick snare that is the essence pattern of dubstep is classic, but you have room to push and pull with that. You can add a kick, you can take some stuff out just to give us more variation, and perhaps in that breakdown section, if the kicks were instead of on 1 and 3 on 1 and the end of something, or on 1 and then not on 3 and you know, like those subtle variations.
Very hip hop too.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what dubstep is based off of, is a hip hop beat,
with-
not just boo, ka, boo, ka. It's a boo.
Yeah, you add stuff in there.
Very well put. Yeah, very well put.
Yeah.
Yeah, very well
But-
put, man. You want to feel like you fucking, there's actually a drummer in that room with you fucking playing, dude. And honestly, too, that goes for like really anything you guys are doing. You know, if you guys are working with a guitar sample or a trumpet sample or fucking vocals, dude, even, you know, like you want to feel like that person is there with you in the studio making the song. So, you know, you're flipping an Eminem track, like make it sound like Eminem's in there in the studio with you, you know, and he wouldn't just get on there and just like rap through your whole song, right? You know, like he's gonna change the way he's saying shit, the way he might sing something, right? That's just the way you got to be with your drums too, man. Like, you know, fucking be fluid with it. Like Eric's not getting into his drum session and just like ta ta ta. ta
Not a robot up
Yeah,
there.
you
If
know.
that's what you want, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, right. If you pay him for that,
No, you won't.
if
I'll
you
do
pay
it-
him
I'll
to
do
do
it
that,
once or
he will
twice.
do it.
Bullshit
dude.
for like what, one section, and then all of a sudden this will
I'll
start
give
getting
you 1 or
loose.
2 passes as clean as hell,
Don't-
and then I'll go up.
Now you know he's not trustworthy, dude.
Go
That's
get it.
how you know. All right, so we're moving on to our fucking road dog right here intro with a couple of his tunes.
Intro.
So I'm gonna shout myself out. I did his artwork for him.
You did? That's pretty fire, bro.
Hey
It is
man,
cool. I'm trying to
that's
see.
that's the best I can do. So you know
That is-
that's
I
what
love
it is
that,
right
dude.
there,
That's it.
dude. So yeah,
I like that
fucking
I'm not 100% sure
shameless
what it is,
shameless
but it
plug
looks
right here.
cool.
I'm waiting for intro to yell at me for that shameless fucking plug. Though. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and start the shit.
I already like that.
I might bring it up to the break. Outside of that, yeah, right. Like I want to know what he's saying, like, and I felt like his growling here would have been. They probably can't do that. so I think we're gonna stop it right there so we can get into his second tune as well. But what do you guys think on that? For me, I think the vocals are maybe they're not bad. They just need to be brought up louder. Eric mentioned that here a second ago.
Yeah, I want to hear the vocals like loud.
Because we get into the screaming because it's screaming.
I want it to be fucking loud.
Well, it's hard to because of the nature of screaming, it's hard to kind of deal with that in terms of mixing because it's a lot of frequency. And so I think that the main thing is the whole mix of everything is super close, but I feel like what we should be focusing on isn't letting us focus on it because it's kind of buried in there.
Right. Yes. Yeah, I hear that.
A great reference for you intro in this song is a band called Three Teeth. You should listen to them. I know you're going to hate me for this suggestion because I've heard you talk shit about arrangement suggestions, but go to Three Teeth. Reference their arrangements. Reference some of their mixing because this writing and sound design is right on point with that style. Those guys are fucking sick.
So you talk shit about everything, to be fair.
Hey, you know what? Me too, bro.
Well, intro, but arrangement though, as much as it is annoying to hear people talk about, like, dude, it's such a key thing, like, especially, and
you can't experiment with arrangement.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't. I mean, unless you're like a big, huge artist already, that that like people are gonna put food on your table regardless of what you do.
Can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great example. Like, there's a couple of Zoo tracks I skipped through on the thing, but my wife goes, "Oh, I love this song," So, right, like, different people. That like you're writing in an arrangement style that other DJs are gonna want to play the shit.
And if you don't want it to be played, you at least need to make it palatable for listeners. And listeners have been groomed to expect a certain thing in this world.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And in this world, I mean dance music, and that's what this is. So
they can't tell.
You kind of have to conform a little.
Right. They can't tell that your snare needs to be mixed better, but they can definitely tell when your shit is not the same as another track they just heard, like in terms of arrangement. They really can. Their mind knows it.
Back off that, like what you said, they're not gonna know if your snare needs to be mixed better. The audiences who don't know, they just care how it feels.
The feel is everything.
Such a good way to put it.
How does it make them feel? Does it make them feel anything? Does it make them move? And if you can.
And like I said, everyone's been groomed to a certain formula in this world. So, like, you kind of have to conform to that. And I think if you reference Three Teeth, because they're, like, right on that fine line of so experimental it doesn't fit, but people heavily fuck with them, especially, like, the guys, like, the people that are Rammstein and, what is the other band? Like, Tool, those guys.
Yeah, right.
All of those fans, like, they tour with them, and all those fans fuck with them.
Yeah, man.
So
but again, sound design wise, dude, there's a lot of good stuff under there, man. And I see your note about not playing the second one. You want to submit a different version, so I'll go ahead and skip over that second link for you, buddy.
I feel like there's also room in this one in the highs again. Like all we really had was hi-hats.
Yeah, like rides, rides, or China's.
China's classic.
Dude, bass for
like synthwave-ish high-end melodies, just like kind of bells and calm.
That would work too.
Yeah. And intro, you're a boy, man. Give us a holler in the Discord. You really want more detailed things, but we're happy to.
I'll get on Zoom with you and show you. Like I know Chase from Three Teeth personally too, so like, I mean, we could even sit down and show him a track and see if he can give you some feedback, because that dude is fucking sick, and your music is like right in that world.
Yeah, definitely, man.
That's a very good.
Intro, you've gotten a lot better too. Just to give you a quick shout out, man. Since you jumped into our Discord,
definitely,
dude.
Bro.
Since your first tracks to like now, man, like you're like on the cusp of like getting to that point where like I think
you're
you can really
be dialed into your thing.
Yeah, man, and you can really start making some noise in this mid-tempo game, because like one thing you're a master at too is fucking networking, man. I'm sure everybody in this chat and on this stream, dude, I can't get to the whole number, but everybody I'm sure has kind of come through you to some degree, right? You know what I mean? So that's really big, man. So I think if you can really hone in and dial in, your sound, dude. Yeah, I think you can make some. Maybe you can challenge good old Rez for some of her Monopoly for that shit, dude.
Rez ain't even gonna have a fucking leg to stand on with what his style is. It's gonna be a thing of its own.
Yeah, well, he just bitches about her all the time, so that's why that's why I threw that in there.
Rez ain't nothing when intro blows up.
So this is a tune that I really like. Damon and I have done similar experimental stuff in our writing where we kind of mix like crossing genres of like house music and mid-tempo, and this song does a really cool job of blending the dubstep and the house elements, bass house elements that we love.
I fucks with that.
Yeah, so this is something else that I'm really maybe looking forward to talking with them about, or at least a track like it we can get signed on our shit. So let's go ahead and listen here.
Bass 4?
Bass 4, man. Bass 4.
Guns. I love that. I
Yeah,
love guns.
dude. Exactly, man. Yeah, let us know if you start getting
Exactly what I wanted. Thanks, Bauer. This guy's Bauer or what?
Yeah, right? So, I'll start by just giving you some flowers right here, man. I really think it's fucking sick track, and again, something that I think DJs could use as a tool to shift into different sections of their sets.
Yeah, because they can dead drop out of that into straight trap now.
Absolutely, or if a guy was playing mostly dubstep and wanted to like break out into a little bass house section to get people actually like grooving, like this is it. And one big thing about our genre too is like guys' attention spans are like that fucking big, so like they can only play one drop and then they're out of that shit.
No, this is a whole song.
Gonna be a
You rinse
whole
it,
song
whole thing.
player. Yeah, people are gonna have a hard time figuring out where to fucking mix out of this track until the end of it. They're just gonna be like, it's fucking dope. I'm gonna just fucking party through this one. Like that's this kind of tune. But there is a couple technical things that these guys heard though right away though.
I'll go in. Mixing notes. Turn your vocals up. Especially in that Bowers fucking drop, that trap shit. Turn the vocal up. That needs to be the shit because it's fire. It's prime. So just turn it up. That's it on that one. Literally just go 1, 2, 3 plus 3 dB on that, and it'll sound so much better.
There it is, dude. There it is.
Next thing is your response sound on the first drop. So you have your call song that's just that like whatever. I can't do it with my mouth, but you know what I'm saying. That shit is grimy, right? So that second sound that comes in though is not complementing it. It's like significantly not quieter, but it's not as full and harmonically there. Yeah. All it needs is OTT. Literally go on YouTube, look up, if you're on Ableton, look up how to use OTT to bring sounds out more in the mix, and literally slap OTT on that sound. If you don't want to watch YouTube, don't want to fucking figure it out,
Mess with it.
no, literally hit us up.
That
We'll get on. I can
for
get on
sure.
Zoom with you and show you how to make that sound so much better with a couple of OTTs and like some mid-side EQing, and you literally, those things would complement each other so perfect. They need to be equally full and they need to be equally loud because they are different styles of synth and sounds and sound design.
Sure.
So they're not going to clash if they're both the same presence. You know what I mean?
He says, "Oh, trust me, I know how to use OTT." All
Yeah.
right,
That's my dog, bro.
So then, really, man, just like really
More
fucking,
OTT.
fucking
More
push that bitch.
More
you know?
OTT
Yeah,
on that
for
that
sure,
response sound. Everything
Yeah.
else is pretty much there.
Yeah,
Plus 3 dB on the vocal, second half trap drop, and then a little bit more OTT on that response song. Like I said, get it the fullness and the loudness and the presence there as your call sound. And dude, this thing's a banger.
Yeah, man. Seriously, like really good tune, man. This is one that DJs will definitely rinse in their sets for like a long time, man. I'd say it's a good one. So nice job, nice job. I'm glad we got that one to work because I couldn't get it to work
I like that
earlier,
one. I
and
like
so
that one.
yeah,
and
man.
it was called Guns.
And it was called Guns. Yes, one of Damon's favorite hobbies. So let's see, we have somebody here. Oh, we already did. Kevin's here. So we're gonna start speeding up a little bit. I think we're gonna just do one tune from people here. So I'm gonna start with Maven Rabbit. I think I got a chance to peep this one earlier. If it's what you say, this one. Not throwing salt on the other one at all. The other one was a good tune too, but this one was really fire, and I want the guys to be able to check this one out. So here we go. I'm gonna bring it to the break. Okay. Both drops, because that second drop is definitely dope as fuck. I love the variation that you brought in on the bass line on that one. It really, I think, made that second drop worth playing both for me, because now I know you didn't just copy paste the fucking drop. You know.
Feel that for sure.
I kind of agree with that because on that first drop, it's kind of that like upbeat, almost string.
Yeah.
And I like that we get on the one beat, on the other beat, and then it kind of waits a second and comes in a tiny bit late. I think that's really nice. But in that, I feel like if that part because we got that same thing that same idea every time we got that. So if that had a little bit of variation within it, like that might help give a little bit more to that first drop to just kind of keep us with it.
Sure.
Just add a note.
Yeah, or move one around, take one out. I think add a note. Yeah.
I like adding a note usually.
Yeah.
Because then you can still keep your same rhythm almost, but just give it that extra note.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think you pointed out as well that in the second drop you did that exactly. Like it was a really cool variation, and I loved that. But the first one, it just felt just a touch stale.
Yeah, like I like almost like I kind of like, all right, yeah, I heard that. Like, you know, like what else you got for me, right? You know, it's kind of how it felt. Not to say that it was bad. I think again, us giving you this kind of feedback means that we fucked with it enough, right? You know, so I definitely like the idea that you got going here. I think keep going, play with it, do what you can to make it just a little bit more interesting to your listener.
Turn your kick up.
Know? And then Damon's got a couple of things. Yeah, he said that the kick he felt like was getting a little lost.
If you turn your kick up and it's getting too much low end, well, you got a couple things you can do. You can EQ low end out. You can do multiband compression to bring out. I would bring out more so the mid or top on it, because the low end on your kick feels fine, but the presence isn't necessarily there. I don't know if you guys, first of all you guys that are making dance music, if you're not mixing your shit with your kick at unity, at 0, and using a 32-bit float point to get your loudness and mixing from there, Google it.
There you go. Okay, cool. So let's move on to this next one here. Good track though, buddy. We really appreciate you submitting that. All right, so we're getting on to a couple of homies here that I'm real excited to listen to things to. We're probably going to go for another 15 or 20 or so. If we don't get to you guys here on the stream, sorry for doing tracks for people. I thought we had more time, I guess. And we will get to you guys privately.
Right?
We can get to you guys privately as well, you know, so we don't feel left out. Definitely just shoot us a message though, to make sure we get to you if you don't see us here, okay? Let's go ahead and start with Shroomy. This is our boy from Canada up north. Yeah, he's a Canuck. So let's go ahead and bring this shit to the break.
Now Shroomy makes sense.
Right? Feel like I just walked in on somebody in the bathroom, dude. Like, honestly, that's like how I feel like you're in that last part.
Surprised the shit out of us.
It totally got me, man. All right, so I feel like there's the first thing for me is the kick needs to hit a little harder. I think like it's just not smacking me in the face the way I want that kick. You know?
And ring mod on your basses would literally do what I know what you're trying to do. EPROM, G Jones, all right. if you get that ring mod on those basses, it'll bring out just that like top little like
Crispiness,
sizzle on
yeah,
it, crispiness that would like literally make it not feel like it's so empty, but still give you that fucking empty drop that you're looking for.
Right.
Because it's the deep, it's all the low end.
Yeah,
And
I get it.
Just the kind of shit that wiggles your
Yeah.
windows.
Yeah,
and
I
shit.
get it.
Yeah.
I get
That's
it.
what we want, but I know what you mean because that'll give it like, it'll be this, but it'll feel full because it'll be up there.
Exactly. Adds the sizzle on it.
Right.
I feel like for me, I really like the vocals, the like, that.
Oh, I love
thing.
that. You need
Yeah,
to
I
carry
did.
that through the break
For
and
sure.
through the whole build into it.
I do.
Like when you brought it out, I was like, definitely something's missing.
Sure.
Well, to me, there was something about its consistency because it was always on that 16th note pattern.
Okay.
And I felt like I could have used a break from that.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily that we got to take it out and bring it in, but if you were to maybe at some times, or maybe start it with this and build it into the full 16ths, if you were to pull out just kind of, not necessarily random, but create pattern within that, I think it'll be
Oh.
that much more effective because
Interesting.
instead of just this,
That's a Mr. Carmack deal. He does that with his really fast vocals. And I know what you're saying, and I fucks with that.
yeah,
That's
it
a
gives
good
it more
idea.
rhythm, it'll give it more identity because to me it was just like this kind of consistent thing, and
Yeah.
I liked it because it kind of sounded like bubbles. It kind of sounded like some spooky underwater entity, which I think is, truthfully too. There's like some sounds in the back half of that. Like I think you got to lean more into the
Yeah.
watery-ishness of it, not
Mm-hmm.
literal water, but there was like stuff that sounded like you made a whale comment. There's stuff that
Yeah,
sounds like
right,
ship
right.
is creaking.
You feel
Like
you're
you
in
said,
the
you're
deep.
in the
yeah,
deep.
that's what
Yeah,
we want.
yeah.
And I think you got to lean into that
Very
more.
themed.
Sure.
So we were told at one
Channel
point to theme our music more.
Right.
And that right there has a theme, and that if
Yeah,
you run
that's
with
fair.
that, that's definitely what people like.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
It's one of those things too, where a track like that, if it has a very obvious theme, if you're trying to go the sync placement route, that's the shit that they look for. Because
Definitely.
Right.
If I'm composing some underwater movie that's scary and I need some low wubs,
Sure.
We're doing Jaws
Sure.
10.
Hey.
This is very
Exactly.
much a track that could get put in placement for a TV show or a commercial or something like
A
that.
game
Like
ad,
right, or,
maybe.
yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
Game, anything like that. One thing else I also wanted to mention is it's kind of a long intro before it like really hits me with like those interesting bass sounds, and I almost kind of felt like I was at Escalator Land, and they're like, when do we get to the ride? And then everybody's like, this is the ride,
Oh my
like
God.
I kind of felt like that until you really started building it up about like right here, and then I felt like, okay, no, we actually got to the fucking ride, and this escalator is taking me down into the ocean, and now I'm scared. So, I think you did a good job from there, but for me, it just felt a little stale getting to that.
It was a
that build.
slow build up.
Yeah, for sure. So just something to maybe think about, because again, we talked about the listener's attention span, and you don't want them to change the track. Because one thing I'll kind of talk about right here real quick, not to get too far off topic, is in Spotify, if they don't stay on your track for longer than 30 seconds, Spotify thinks your song is not a good song, and they will play. Yeah, they will deprioritize it in the algorithm. So we want to make sure that like when we're, especially in our level where we're at right now, that we do not lose listeners. We got to keep the listeners and gain more listeners. So just something to think about in terms of keeping them super
Once
engaged.
you get bigger, you can start experimenting and doing the
Right.
real fucking
Mhm.
weird
Absolutely.
long build shit. You've already got your fan base.
Yeah, right,
Hate
right.
to say it, but you gotta conform a little if you want to make this a career, and then you can start being Dead Mouse or whoever the fuck you want to be, and start getting weird and long builds and breaks and whatever, and then you can go tell everyone to fuck themselves if they don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. So it sounds like here he's gonna cut the intro, he says, and he's got a couple of feature producers. He might jump on with it or so.
That's fire.
So yeah, man. So
Yeah.
cool, man. Okay, excited to hear the future of this track, dude. I think you got a really solid idea here. Keep going on that one for fucking sure, man. Sick. Heading over. Chance to hear this one in
Oh,
the
this is our dog,
Discord
right?
before. Yeah, it's our boy Womp, man, Mr. Womp.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, cool. We're gonna start like right here. Yeah, this is fire right here. I like this. And it's a different vibe than what we do. Like it.
to the old school. Sipping on suds with the bud, screaming no rose. Bring it back to the good times. Lose control, dance all night. Run that back and I whistle while I'm working it. Bring it back to the best we ever did. We don't gotta follow no rules. Bring it back to the old school. Sipping on cheap wine in my white tee. I'm a G from the old school. Never follow no rules. Back to back like Fred Tatum. Run it back like trap. Back to back to back. Bring it back.
Okay, so that was pretty dope. I really like that, man. That's like a radio bopper. Like, you know, if you add the vocals more into the front half of that, I really think like you could get, you know, one of these radio DJs to play that shit on a Friday night, Saturday night, while people are heading to the club, you know. And man, this will get some Shazams too. You know, whoever your vocalist is, she's dope and she's perfect.
This
for
is one of those songs
you know?
that would like go viral on a fucking Instagram reel.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Like,
dude.
you remember the
man.
Ocean Spray guy skating down the street? You know,
Yeah,
this is the
dude.
song that would like go viral, and now
Absolutely, man.
everybody's putting it in their fucking reels.
Dude, you know what? That is such a good point, man. And you know, where you release this, I think will be important. Like Ditto.com or DittoMusic.com, where we release, they offer opportunities for sync and pitching like that. That would be a really good place for you to sign yourself up and maybe try to land some of those sync opportunities. Because yeah, dude, this is really cool.
This
like,
is Instagram reel viral song.
Yeah,
for sure.
man, definitely those TikTok,
it's
TikTok
super upbeat and
videos.
happy.
Yeah, man, I can see, you know, like the homeboy that was drinking the cranberry juice to the
Fleetwood Mac song.
Fleetwood Mac song. Like, you know, this is that type of vibe. Like, you know, it's really like you could get this shit on some vibe.
Okay, but
for sure.
mixing notes.
Yeah.
There's a couple of points in the first break build area section where you kind of clash some synth with that whistle. In those sections, before you build up to your first drop, just cut all the highs, like filter that so it doesn't clash with your whistle, because that whistle is creating so much depth in the beginning, so that when you start bringing in those synths, it's clashing it, and then when you drop, it kind of takes away that like that depth to like boom, now it's in your face. It fucks that up. And that's what you're doing really well there. If you just clean that up, it would execute perfectly. And then towards the end, you bring in that reed sound with the whistle, and they're clashing. One needs to be filtered.
He says in which part, the build, but just
the first
general.
very intro build section going into your first main drop. You're bringing in too much high end on the synths
He
with
says
it.
bet. Cool.
Yeah, just use your whistle, because that depth before you hit that first drop is like very like prominent and well done. So
Cool. Any more notes?
Yeah, I really dig it as well. I feel like if anything, the second drop, like the back half of it, needed a little bit more of a something. You know, I felt a little too similar to the front half in terms of energy.
Okay.
Maybe that means pull the first half back a little bit, or maybe like just add a little extra 16th, you know, some smaller subdivision or something.
I know exactly what you're saying, and I
Yeah.
feel that. My fix for that is always adding more cymbals.
Usually it's
Literally add energy with like
Yeah,
rides,
more percussion.
more
Right,
percussion and
yeah.
shit like that. That
Yeah.
usually fixes it.
Or cutting that first drop some a little bit just to
I
get to
wouldn't.
that vocal faster might not be the worst thing. But
Fuck
no, you
that.
said no, leave
No,
it. Okay.
I wouldn't. The song is really nice right now, and it's not too boring.
Okay.
Add a little more percussion to the second half. Maybe some rides, some
Yeah.
different hat work, or
Think
some
about
like
the-
shakers or
It's gotta
something.
get a little bigger in the back
Just a
half.
tiny bit, yeah.
Fuck with that. That's good advice right there,
That's
guys.
a good point.
Oh yeah, good shit. All right, man. So this is our dude Tom Disco right here, man.
Oh, yeah.
So this
Oh,
guy
yeah.
was actually in my Icon Online class
Nice.
ages ago, dude. So yeah, man, we go back. Me and this guy right here. He's definitely a good dude.
That makes a lot of sense
He-
now. When I looked up his Instagram and saw like certain people that we both follow, I was like,
Yeah, yeah, man, and he actually has an alternate brand too. He didn't submit. Oh wait, maybe this is his alternate brand. So he has a Wizards with Attitude brand, and it's more D&D
That's cool.
based, and it's
Yeah.
pretty fucking sick. I'm
That's
liking
dope.
that a lot right
the
now.
artwork is insane.
But
I
his
love
Dom
that.
Disco shit is also very sick. But I'm loving the D&B on him right now. So we'll just see what he's got for us here.
He cold, she belongs to the street.
Oh God.
Belongs to the street. Belongs to the street. Belongs to the street. Belongs to the street. He cold, she belongs to the street.
Oh
we go.
God. Harder.
Belongs to the street.
Harder. Harder.
Belongs to the street. Belongs to the street.
All right, that was pretty sick. That was pretty sick. Me and Eric were kind of chatting here over to the side, and all chatting for sure. But just this last moment though, we were chatting, and we said specifically a little variation on that main like baseline synth. I think. Yeah, you know,
I think throughout the whole song too, because we did get a lot of that. Dun, 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 dun,
Right,
dun.
right. Just more variation, man. I think that would really help.
Not a ton, though.
with it. Yeah,
Not a ton. Don't get crazy with it.
One thing that might help, and I feel like I caught you were doing it in the back half of the song, the second drop, where it was almost following some kind of like chord progression a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed that
and
too.
I feel like we lean into that.
Yeah,
More
because I
into
feel
that
like
for sure. I felt that too.
because if it's just that one note on that one rhythm the whole time, we're gonna get tired of it faster.
Still,
But if it's moving around a little bit, and
I
know
liked it
that
too.
in the bass community, the note F is very favored, but
Sure.
make that the lowest of the notes. Then like
Sure.
let us sit in that, sure, but you can still move in and around that
Yeah.
just to give it a little bit more. I think that'll make it easier for us to follow.
Yeah.
And perhaps the different kind of tonalities of those notes will help infer what variations to give on it.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really great point. Really great point. I think Damon had a couple other notes he was talking about too.
It just felt a little dry.
Yeah.
Dry.
That's it.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah.
It felt like it needed some reverb on more elements, and then your drums are just they're so close, dude. If you're not mixing at Unity, do that. If it's still not quite kicking enough, giving you that like, it's close. So trust me, it's real close. If you don't have UA, this is hard to do, and I hate doing this. You guys have heard me say this in the group. I don't suggest very many plugins, but the Fatso Senior is like the most insane drum bus plugin there is. So
UA is a great company too.
yeah, like honestly, like if I could buy one fucking plugin on my UA, it'd probably be Fatso. Like Empirical Labs makes the best shit.
Dope. All right, cool, Dom. Well, I like I said, I think this is a good song, man. Keep going on this one. This really got a lot of good potential
I
here.
do dig the artwork too. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
artwork's fucking dope.
Yeah, man. And just for the sake of time, bud, we're gonna skip ahead. We're not gonna do your second track, but I know it's a pretty heavy techno tune. We will definitely peep that a little bit later and get back to you on what we think about that. We're gonna move over to poker, and I gotta make sure I get my boy Drew Do in here before we get done because he's one of my favorite producers in our Discord, so I gotta make sure. How we doing on time? You okay?
It's 7:30.
Okay, cool.
We technically have another half an hour.
Cool. I just want to make sure we weren't pushing his time. So cool. All right, so let's keep pushing so I can make sure I get to my guy, man. And if there's any time left over, I will double back and go over any duplicate tracks. Oh man, Poker. This track was not found. It may have been removed, buddy. I'm gonna go to your next one though, because you did give me 2. So. Oh, Poker.
Dude got a shout out that
Oof.
Nokia cell phone.
Oh yeah, you did though. You did get to shout out that Nokia cell phone. Hey, bro,
Poker face, let's go.
Poker, if you're in here, buddy, hit us with that in the chat, and I will definitely see if we can get you in here. Let's move over to Synthesizer. Like
Love that name.
he is my synthesizer.
Oh,
My own personal synth.
the synthesizer.
All right, man, let's go. And his shit is working, so let's get it started here.
Her scapper.
Bring you up to the break. Whoa, I gotta go back. I gotta back that up. Hold on a second.
Somebody got us up. Bass on.
I hear a lot of cool ideas in here, but I don't know that I hear a complete song in here.
My number one suggestion for synthesizer, dude, who do you listen to? Because obviously somebody's inspiring you. You like somebody that makes this shit because this is fucking gnarly. I've never even heard anything like that, and it's pretty dope. You just need to find somebody that is in the realm of this and take their track, bounce an audio out, put it in a fucking audio track in Ableton. And like I said, somebody before, build their track, rebuild their track with your sounds. That's it. That's just gonna help you take. This is so experimental that it's hard to digest. You need to make it digestible,
right?
Because the sound design and the griminess, I fuck with it. It's just not in a form that's digestible. You know what I mean?
Right.
Reference. Done. That's it.
Yeah, I would agree with that because like there's tons of cool sounds, there's tons of really cool ideas, really cool moments, but it's hard because there's not like a vocal, there's a lack of there is a vocal element, but it's hard to like stay with it.
Yeah.
And I think it's because there's a lot of ideas, and I don't necessarily want to even say like pick a handful of them and really use those.
Yeah.
Because they're all really cool, but there is going to be a way. I think one of the things that took me out of it the most was right in the dead middle. We hit some cool thing, we hit some cool vocal, and then it like kind of slowly came back.
Yeah, I expected it to like surprise me back.
Right, and it like really took me out of the flow of it, and so like all the sounds in there are sick, but they don't. It doesn't like it's hard to move with it.
Like I said, it's just
not move with it, but it's hard to like stay.
It's not presented in a way that's digestible to a normal listener. You know what I mean? Reference a song, arrange it in a way that just any normal listener can digest it how we do dance music.
Yeah, but I think that like you spend a lot of time with your synthesizer, and I'm sure you guys are good ass buddies though, because the sounds were cool. The sounds were fucking cool. So give you a little flowers there, dude.
Oh yeah,
definitely,
no, the fucking
definitely
sound design is
really
so sick,
cool sound designs. There are a lot of cool sounds.
If you can figure out a way to make that presentable in the dance world, that's gonna go off for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool, man. So let's jump over here. We're on our final page. And again, we do not have to do the Command Escape and the Keyboard Warriors track. So if I can get to anybody else, I will. We're going to start here with Indigo. Oh, fucking Indigo with the gold standard right here, dude. Oh, shit, man. You created some fucking lofty standards for yourself, friends. Let's see where we can go, man. I already like it, dude. You brought the gold out in the music already, man.
Indigo is my favorite color. Hey, you know what, dude? Blue is my favorite color.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, something I already wanted.
It's like pretty lights.
Yeah, I already wanted a vocalist to come in here. Intro says Indigo is such an E-chord. Yeah, E-chord.
Oh.
Yeah, E-chord. I can totally do that. Yeah. Or like lightning
Yeah.
you know?
And I already said this reminds me of Pretty Lights, so that's exactly what I want.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think there's just too much bass line here. I almost like don't want it.
You need to cut away from the musical aspect and get into the sound.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pause that because he's making some good notes already, and I don't want to break his flow. Go ahead, bud.
I really like it because I really like the fusion of the kind of two genres, the kind of two styles and feelings. I think that's really nice. I think it could like smack a little harder.
Yeah, for sure.
But then, what was I said a second ago? What was I saying?
You want to break that flow?
I know. I didn't want to. It's okay.
Still a little too. You're playing it safe.
Oh, that's right. I was playing.
When you get to those
safe.
main sections, your choruses, if you will, your drops in our world, they're too safe. Pull out those musical elements and feel free to dive into a really good drum track, you know, really good drum beat, that boo ka boo 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 ka, and then really bring out those basses. Like, hate to say it, but Grizz and Pretty Lights get almost like, you know, like dubsteppy, complextro-y with the like the different sounds, you know, and that's like really right up the alley of what that E-Forest world is for sure. Like,
I agree because I think it's like the idea is definitely there, but it's. I mean, I feel like the fact that we were talking over it instead of being like, "Wow," like, it has potential to really wow somebody. It just needs like a lot more spice.
Yeah, no, I you know, and I think that's a very valid point to make there, right? Like we were kind of talking through it. It almost has like right now kind of like coffee shop vibes because it's not really hitting where it needs to. So where like we could actually sit and have a conversation where it is kind of like dope, like background party.
Maybe
music,
that's what he's going for, though.
And if that's what you're going for, dude,
then you hit the fucking mark,
you fucking nailed it. Don't worry about what we're saying, dude.
100%.
But definitely, I think that kick could be like, you know, like David says, up at 0 and make sure it's like hidden a little.
Okay, I
bit
will
more.
say with this type of music, you can get away with running your kick at -3, -6, and mixing more traditionally because this isn't just fully electronic music. You're using real elements, and it's a lot harder to mix in a 32-bit flow point with recorded instruments. They sound like shit.
That's a
turned
fair
up
point.
too
No,
loud.
it is a good point, man. It is a great point. So, all right, cool. I was able to get my boy Drew's track pulled up, so we're gonna check that one out next. Indigo, cool ass fucking tune, man. Keep us
My
in
favorite color is blue, so I
like
fucks
that
with you.
the artwork is sick. Keep us in the loop about how this is going. Please
There's
join our
something in there
Discord,
with
dude.
Into gold standard, something in there.
Oh.
you know,
Yo, in the goal, man. Hey, I like that. You're gonna have to talk to Eric, man. You guys are gonna have
It's your
something to work
branding
on,
manager
man.
now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Here's my boy right
Oh,
here.
cool.
though.
This is a collaboration with Intro.
Yeah. Oh, is it a? Oh, look at this. This is a collab with our boy Intro.
These are
Even
dogs
better.
right here.
These
Yeah,
are
just
both
sitting
our
there being
dogs
like,
right
"Wah,
here.
wah."
Like I said, this, and I don't mean to blow smoke, but he could. Drew Dude could be the like top sound designer in our fucking our Discord. They just the sounds are so awesome, man. So let's just go for it. Let's hear it.
The artwork is up too. Nice suggestion, man.
Okay, so I'll just say first, the really awesome sound designs, again, kind of what I've come to expect from Drew Do. I mean, dude's off the chain with that. I will say that I feel like it can transition better between the sections. Obviously, it's a whip, so you guys are still working on that. But, like, white noises, really clean sweeps, though. Nothing like... Nothing
No
like,
weird
like
resonance
yeah,
on it
like
and
nothing
shit,
like that.
no.
Like, dude, super clean. Just like... you know what I mean? Just doing those, like, just those sweeps to create a little more
The
tension.
best reference for those sweeps, Dead Mouse.
Dead
It
Mouse.
does them
Yeah,
so
yeah,
good,
for
dude.
sure. Of course, classic reference, dude. Just started this 2 days.
Also, your kick
ago,
is your
so-
kick has got something on it that's piercing, bro. It's like something in 14K that's like, I get it, like it kind of creates a tonality to it, but it hurts my ear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I think you just need to do some surgical EQ and just kind of dial that in a little bit, or put soothe on it.
Yeah, or just try a different kick sample.
No,
if
the
it's
kick
a
is
sample,
nice. It's
honestly.
just there's something needs to be cut out of it. It
Okay.
literally just
Okay.
sounds like do some comb EQing on it on that like 14K region, and if you can't find it, put soothe on it.
Well, then there we go.
I
Cool.
feel like for me, I really dug there were like these kind of upbeat with
Yeah.
the noise. That was like very rock and roll, if I may.
Yeah.
And I really liked to hear it kind of blended with the synthwave style. I thought that like aesthetically was really cool. If I saw that at a show, that's like what would get me hyped. So maybe lean into that. But I feel like with that idea, because it kind of goes down through the bulk of the song, to maybe play with what pitch that hits at to
Mhm.
kind of give it more internal melody. And I feel like when we hit the kind of main drops, the same call might be cool on the basses there, because I feel like it all sounds really cool, but it's hitting again a lot of the same note.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious, one or two other pitches, I think
Subtle too.
Yeah, I think it might be really helpful, and just give it like a little bit more depth to make
Yeah.
it a little less monotonous and a touch more grabbing of us. You know?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, great,
Well said, Eric.
good rails. Yeah,
Thanks,
super great
But I
feedback
really
there.
dig it.
Yeah, Drew. I also, you guys are on to a good tune
Oh,
here.
and
Keep going
bump
on
the
this
BPM,
one.
Make it faster. It's too
I
slow.
think-
Subjective.
Just a tiny bit. Now, I'm not saying go up to 120. It's just if it was a tiny bit faster.
Fuck it, go to 85.
85.
If you're really down about your shit. All right, cool. So we're rounding out the end of this list here. We're getting close on time anyway. Again, if we didn't get to you guys, please like send us. Yeah, we'll check the Discord and we'll jump in more. And Eric's gonna join our Discord, and I'm sure when he gets time, he'll give some feedback as well. So let's head to the next guy here, Valorian.
We promise to get better at this deal too. So
Yeah, this is gonna get more smooth, and when we're at our own studio, we can go for longer too, because we won't be subjected to
hours.
studio booking times. So, but there's the only way to get all three of us in the same place at the same time. So,
Also, we plan to get more sick icon people together too, like
You tell me, man.
No,
and bigger artists. Maybe we get like Three Teeth in here, get Lumberjack in here. it'd be
Yeah,
sick.
Hanu's already said that he'll jump in here with us. So we got guys, man, and so make sure you guys tune in. We're gonna do this once a month, yeah, it should be good for us.
I'd
All right,
probably get Andre in here too. We gotta try that.
we'll
see.
see.
Kept doing it here to pull just a random student and be like, hey, sit in on one.
Dude,
Give us
yeah,
your thoughts. That's
exactly.
that
We
is
would love
cool.
that, man. All right, cool. So let's check that out here.
much
Oh,
on the surface till
let's start it right here.
picture perfect from far away. On the surface still as can be, but when you get closer there's so much underneath the covers, and I don't know if you're gonna feel the same. 'Cause I might not be what you're expecting, piece by piece falling confetti. When these walls come down, what will you see? Are you gonna be there when it's hard? Are you gonna leave me in the dark? Are you gonna take me for who I am? Or hate me for what I'm not? Will it be too much for you, babe? Or are you gonna love me on my worst days when it's all said and done? Are you gonna run? Or are you gonna stay? Stay. Little stone cold, a bit hot-headed, bittersweet wrap around the edge.
Okay, so I think we're gonna pause it there. But honestly, this is like a really,
Can we just-
really, yeah.
Hold
Go
on,
ahead.
hold
No,
on,
go ahead.
sorry.
Play it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna start it because
Yeah,
you got a lot to know.
go ahead.
This isn't really in my realm, but the only thing I have for you is from our side, which is the dance world. This is the extended version. You need to take this and make this into a ADD shorter version that people are gonna like. Jordan, ADD
yeah.
over here
Yeah,
didn't
you-
even want to wait. I felt your progression. I felt it where it was going. I knew it was gonna get there.
Yeah.
You need to make that if for releasing into the dance world, you need to make that happen sooner. And then when this song inevitably gets fucking huge, you release the extended version that's maybe a vocal edit, and it has this long, beautiful song that I would listen to this while driving home.
Yeah.
Dude, this is fucking bomb.
You know,
dude.
so to Damon's point, that's something like if you were doing like a self-release on this, or even if you were releasing it with somebody else, I think I'd have a version that has this drop that you got. I would do two sections of that and actually make it like more of a
the belt.
traditional. Yeah, you know.
The belt has a vocal edit where
Right,
it's
yeah.
everything they did together, and it's a lot of vocals, and it's very beautiful, and there's a time and a place for that.
Yeah.
You gotta have that edit.
Yeah. And you release them both together as like an EP. You
Oh,
know.
absolutely. And
I
then do an
think-
instrumental too.
Absolutely, because that would do a couple of things for you. One, that's gonna get you played as like the last song in somebody's festival set. You know, they're gonna thank the crowd and they're gonna play this fucking dope ass tune you have,
And
then
everyone's gonna throw their lighters in the air.
absolutely,
fucking cry
and
together
it's
be
gonna
like, "We
have
did
those
this."
two drops that he'll play the whole thing out, and then your long extended version that you have here, that's gonna be like.
That's for the fans.
Yeah,
That's
not
for the people that love your shit. Dude.
and not just that too, but it's also for pitching for placement, dude. Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the sort of
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
that
yeah.
somebody would, dude. Imagine like a movie where like the girl's running through the rain crying or some shit, dude. Like that's some shit they're gonna fucking put on there. You know?
That's the I'm gonna quit my job. I don't even want to be a DJ anymore because it's gonna make me money the rest of my life.
Yeah,
type song.
and I think Doc used to say this a lot too, like so we here making like EDM, like we write tracks, you know, but like this is kind of more in the song realm, you know, like it's more of a song for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that like that is an amazing thing, but like Damon says, there's a place for it, right? When people go to DJ sets, they're trying to hear tracks, you know. So I think having the two versions would be huge.
But that very end of it, that's a track.
Yeah, that's a track. That's part of the track. So
That's a track at the very end.
Take that last part there, the all of this, you know, basically from here up, and make a track out of that part, and really add that minute 30 in your vocal mix that maybe you don't even put the track part on. You know, it's up to you though. On that part.
What do you have to say about it, Eric?
I think that what y'all are saying is a really good idea, because to kind of package it a different way, I think will be really effective for the song. I think as a song itself, it is really pretty and it's gorgeous, and this is like the original version. I think because I also think it's funny that you caught it. You were like, well, I can sense where it was going, and I think because it ended up in that kind of like almost anthemic, future bassy, shoegazy kind of thing. Like I loved getting there. But I think that the choice of drums made sense for then, but when the drums first came in, they were way too sloshy and like almost too heavy. And I feel like your ear, because they were like kind of classic dubstep drums.
Sure, yeah.
And I
kind
feel like
of thought
it
where he
needed-
was heading actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
to
right.
be a little bit more softer, more intimate, more singer-songwriter
More
in
of
that
an acoustic
moment.
set.
And then to build up into something big and huge like that. But I think I'm curious if your brain went, there's something coming.
I knew it.
Yeah,
No, I knew
right,
it. I
right.
was like, we stopped this too early. This guy's got something hidden. here.
Right.
But see, my bass house head, you had already lost me though, because
is fair.
because again, guys in
But
my
that's
genre,
why-
that's our attention span.
But that's why we do this like
Yeah,
this and get guests in here
exactly.
that accommodate for the things we don't think
Exactly,
about.
because there's all different. We all do things differently. Even me and Damon, we write together, but we're completely different.
Oh, dude, we
artists,
clash
you know?
all the
We're
time,
we're
all the time.
so different. You know, so it's just the way it is sometimes, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Very pretty song.
Yeah,
I
hey man,
think
you,
honestly,
you
Pushing
killed.
those two either directions, and having both is going to be really cool.
Yeah,
think so.
right. Don't try to make it something it's not. Just make two versions of
And then
it
the
for
homies
sure.
in the chat get like a bass version and then another one. and then
Yeah,
double six
exactly,
songs.
man.
You're done.
So I think we're rounding out to our last two on my list, and probably the last two we have time for. So let's go ahead and get to these guys. We got Cortez, who I've been seeing all over the chat.
Yeah, we got.
What's
7
up,
minutes,
dude?
We gotta run.
All right, let's go. All right, let's jump up to this next build here. Run this second drop real quick. I like what he's doing right here. I mean,
How do you feel? It's playing good melodies for sure.
Praise the Lord.
Hard style kick. It needs a hard style kick.
Yeah.
I think it needs, because everything's very clean. You know what I mean? The only thing that's kind of grimy is that like acid 303 bass thing you got going on. I think if you added kind of a dirty,
A
hard,
boomier thing.
yeah, kind of a hard style boomier kick to it, it would definitely fill in that void of what it's needing for like that energy.
Sure.
And then the next thing I would do is, I'm sorry, this is the best advice I could give to a new producer that doesn't really know how to like write drops necessarily, is find an artist, find a song that inspires you, take the audio, rebuild that song with
Such
your
advice.
elements,
Yeah.
and that will teach you how to write the style of music you're trying to go for. Done.
Yeah, I mean, I think just in terms of those builds, like Damon is saying, like, you know, because we don't like it's like when you brought your kick back in right here, it didn't feel like you were building up to your next moment. You know, it just felt like you just threw the kick back in, and we were kind of almost back in a drop again. I didn't know if we were kind of dropped or if we were
If it was
building
dropped
again.
or if it was still part of the build. I
Yeah,
felt that
right,
too.
right. So I think just like, you know, and we can dial this in more if you,
Referencing is
yeah,
gonna help.
referencing is big, but message us for like our own personal recommendations of how we handle that problem. Because it's a pretty common thing that most guys run into. You know, how do I like
Build tension.
Yeah, how do I build in and build tension into this particular drop? And I think that like you don't have. It's not that you're using wrong elements. I just think you're
Using them in the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So I think you can totally dial that build part better, and like Damon said, get a little bit better kick, hard style, something more fitting for what you're doing here. And I think it'll go a long way.
I think this needs a ton of automation too, to
Yeah,
really
sure.
give the synths themselves, the tones themselves, all these different things to give them life and depth throughout the sections.
Yep.
And if it were me, I would get my hands on some knobs and record it all in by hand if you can.
That's the
but
best way because you can
it's-
feel it, man.
it's
Right,
so much more fun
right.
too.
Yeah, it's
But
fun.
that's what I would recommend. I feel like you don't necessarily need the knobs, but to give it more depth from section to section and more kind of evolution and that change over time. I always be talking about that shit, but it's so useful.
Okay.
All right, let's get the last one in here, and then we're
yeah.
gonna call it a night. We got 3 minutes. Hopefully, nobody.
Oh,
barges in.
maybe it's the same one. Yeah, I think Cortez might be J Fire, and I just didn't realize he
okay,
he did twice. So hold on, let me.
No. The links are totally different, dude.
Yeah, I think this is the on SoundCloud, the mobile one, and that's the URL.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, Cortez says it's the same person.
All right, cool.
So hold on 1 second. We got one last one that I'm gonna
Oh,
try
did
to
he
squeeze
pop it
in
back
here.
in?
No, this is Drew Dew's second track that he's got. Hold on 1
If
second.
I may, real quick, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and real
Absolutely,
quick,
Eric.
let me do the goodbyes. So we are CmdEsc. This is Damon. I am Jordan. This is our good friend Eric here.
Yeah.
He will be popping in and out of the Discord. This won't be the last time he's here on the stream.
Real
but,
quick, Eric, tell us, shout out what your people are. Let us know who you are.
Yes.
You can find me on Instagram at EP, which is 5 E's, 5 underscores, and 5 P's. It's pretty easy to find, but you can also find my band Fime or Iconique anywhere you listen.
Both
to
sick
stuff.
as fuck, by the way.
You can hear some shit I composed in an episode of Doc Now, but hit me up if y'all need live shit recorded. I play a bunch of stuff. So.
This is your dude.
Dope. This is my dude right here, man. You're guys gonna like this one though. We bring it to the break.
reason why I like the second drop better, which pertains to my notes on the first drop, you give yourself way more of a space that you're sitting the mix in. I feel like that was a problem with your last track too, is you're not, like, I know there's reverb on the snare, but everything feels so dry. It doesn't feel like we're in a fucking room. And the person that I think is the best at this is Drazo. He does a really good job of being very minimal about what he's using reverbs on, so that it creates that atmosphere and that room and that space. And your stuff feels a little dry sometimes, but that vocal made it feel like it was in a space, in a realm, and I fucks with that.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good note. Really good note. Sound design on point though.
Yeah, of course.
You
of
know,
course.
and I like the kick pattern you chose in the first drop. I thought it kept it interesting to where I thought I was about to hear a kick, and then I fucking didn't.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
I love
dude.
the keep
So-
it guessing shit like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Yeah, man. You know, again, that's yes, you have to follow a certain arrangement, but that's where you really can experiment within the arrangement, right? Keep it like what people are used to, but also not at the same time. You know.
Yeah.
So you did a great job of that, dude. I'm really proud of that. You guys, awesome tunes. Thank you for helping us make our first stream a really amazing one, man. Couldn't have asked for better tunes to had
it off
Eric
with,
listen
yeah.
to. Yeah, I think
I'm
Eric.
honored, thank you.
I hope Eric's pleasantly surprised at the amount of heat we brought at this thing. So
true,
yeah,
true.
yeah, man. So absolutely, guys, great job, and we'll catch you all next month, and obviously you'll catch us in the Discord as well. If you hit up intro, I think he'll have this for playback if anybody wants to hear their feedback
Nice, okay,
again.
word, love
So
that.
yeah, definitely. And if not this time, we'll definitely have it on the times around. But
You can
thank you
always
guys.
message us.
Yeah,
Always message us.
seriously, always message us. If you got my phone number, you're welcome to call me too, man. You guys have a nice night.
Later, y'all.
Keep it up.